He's not pressing, but he's opened the door. Do you walk through it? Ah, okay. I was curious, that's all. I need clarity. There's someone else. Oh man, oh boy. Hello and welcome to the Starlight and the Duke. If you're new here, hi, I'm Voyia. I play a variety of games. If you ever want me to play something, please don't hesitate to ask, and it will mean the world to me if you liked, comment, and subscribe. Now, before we get started, I was asked by the creator to play this game, and from the bottom of my heart, I know sometimes in my text, because I'm terrible at texting and messaging and emailing and stuff, that it might come off a little callous, like, yeah, sure, I'll play your game or anything like that. And I promise you, I didn't say like, sure, I'll play your game to them before my family get on me, because I tell them to correct me all the time. But I felt like I kind of like, yeah, sure, I'll play the game, like, absolutely, like, kind of like that. And I felt like I owed y'all a thank you. So from the bottom of my heart, for everyone that was involved in this game, thank you for choosing me to play your game. Now, I did let them know that I'm a little goofball here. I'm a little crazy, and I go absolutely feral over the hot guy. So trust me, you chose an interesting pick, but I'm glad you chose me. With all that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I think I already said that anyways, but I kind of like try to do that and hit the notification bell. Some of y'all keep saying y'all don't see me uploading. You would see it if you hit the notification bell, because I upload Monday through Friday unless I take a day off. Let's get started. I should have got my glasses, but it's okay. The estate is finally quiet. I don't know what I can pick. Okay, I can use this to scroll, and hopefully there's no auto scroll. I cannot stand the games that auto scroll, because as you can see, I'm rambling. Anyways, let's get started. Not peace. No, never peace. Just the hush that follows performance, when the curtains fall and no one claps. The guests have gone, taking with them their painted smiles and their coily perfumes and brittle tensions of their titles. Not a single one I'll miss. So I'm assuming that I am the girl in this situation. There was nothing specified. I think it's an arranged marriage type of thing. So hopefully the person I'm getting married to is not a butt. Your footsteps quietly echo beneath the colonnade. Oh, hold on. Can I hit this? Oh, yes. Oh my God. Hello. Lucien is already seated on the stone bench, 2 glasses of wine beside him. You slow as you approach. He hasn't noticed you yet. Or maybe he has, and just hasn't said anything. Join him or turn away. Well, I see no reason not to sit and join him. Maybe the 2 glasses of wine is for us. Maybe this is the person I'm getting married to. You sit beside Lucien. Not close, not far, just where it always works. Might not like him too much, I assume. He doesn't speak for a while. Neither do you. The silence stretches. Too long to be comfortable, not long enough to feel safe. Then, he says your name. Voyia! Of course. Sorry, I got the type that I get excited. Voyia. He says your name flatly. Ugh. Disgusting. As if reading it off a manifest. That ambassador nearly keeled over during your toast tonight. I doubt he expected a reminder that the trade routes still run through our signatures. You're very welcome. I could tell you hated them too. So this is like past the whole marriage thing. This is absolutely we're already married type of thing. Okay. Nothing wrong with that. He still kind of look evil. Not with this. Okay, see, I spoke too soon because I just looked at his face. With his little smile on his face, he doesn't look too evil. He just looks stern. Okay, he's okay. He's cute. The faintest trace of a smirk touches his mouth. You raise your glass. He mirrors you. We do well in public, that much at least. Indeed. We're always for the show. Okay. And it was true. Sereneth and Calaris, two ancient houses, bound beneath the weight of the legacy and all it demanded. The royal astrologers called it fate, the court a triumph. And the public, they spun it into something far more delusional. The Starlight of high society and her Iron Duke, married beneath a sky full of almonds. Well, that's one way to put a wedding. In truth, it was just a necessary evil. And even now, with the doors shut and the wine half finished, being near him feels more like duty than ease. But that script is second nature. You know how to sit beside Lucian without being seen through. You debated whether this is the moment to break pattern. We can try being nice to him if there's an option. Say nothing. I know you hate it tonight. Has it gotten any easier? So maybe asking him, has it gotten any easier, might ease the tension between us a little bit. Like, you know, do you feel more comfortable around me or whatever? But I don't know. Let's see. Has it gotten any easier? Doing this, I mean. Because I keep waiting for our partnership to feel like more than work. It never does. He doesn't answer right away. You don't look at him. You give him the grace of pretending this question isn't difficult. But it is. No, he says simply. I'm not sure it ever will get easy. Oh. You were younger. You both resented the arrangement. The spectacle of it, the pageantry, the cruel idea of being told who to become and for whom. He hid his fury behind silence. You buried yours in effortless charm. The vows were spoken with clenched teeth, but carried out with flawless precision. Solar and lunar, light and shadow, a great love written in the stars. You didn't correct them, neither did he. Our real story would have never made it into courtship ballots. But maybe it didn't have to be. I made peace with what our marriage isn't a long time ago, but I still wonder sometimes. He said more than you expected, more than you usually get. You could leave it there, as you both learned to do. Let it settle into silence like everything else. Or you could meet it, say something back for once. Do you speak into the silence? Oh man, hold on. It is easy to say like, oh yeah, I'm gonna stick up for myself. I can rebel against this marriage. But it seems like they both don't want it. So they're doing this, like they said, it's a performance for them. This is acting for them. They're trying to do it for whatever reason they have in mind, for what his reason, for her reason, but they have their own reasons of why they do it. Now, do I think it's right? No. Could I do it? No. I wear my heart and emotions on my sleeve, so everyone knows when I'm mad, angry, and sad, off the rip, or bored, or anything like that, you will see it in my face or hear it in my voice. So this is like a hard one. Break the script, hold the line, change the subject, leave him to it. Dang it, we could just stop right here. We already come this far. Let's break the script. Dang. Maybe staying was the best we could do. Sometimes I wonder what we could have been. Marrying you was a mistake. Ooh, nah. I mean, I don't know how many endings it is. I think it's multiple endings, but I'm not for sure. Sometimes I wonder what we could have been. Sometimes I wonder what we could have been outside of all of this. You don't mean it to sound sentimental, but the words leave your mouth heavier than you expected. Lucian doesn't look surprised, just thoughtful, like it's something he'd considered before, albeit never allowed. I used to wonder that too. Oh, Lucian. This is something that, oh man, I just can't. It was only weeks after the wedding. The alliance was secured, but neither of you had settled into the rhythm of it yet. The last guest had left hours ago. The estate was quiet, and you both still in formal wear, shoes off, chairs dragged closer to the fire than was strictly appropriate. There had been laughter, not much, just enough to surprise you. The wine had run dry, and neither of you moved. For once, there was nothing to manage. You remembered the exact feeling in your chest, like something could have started there, if it hadn't already ended. But the spell broke, as all things did. He rose first, said something neutral. Early council meeting, good night, thank you for the wine. You never spoke about that night again. But what we could have been doesn't change what we are. And we're here. That's what counts. It's not tender, not even comforting, but you understand exactly what he means. Because in this world, and in this marriage, showing up is never easy. And maybe that's the closest thing to love you will ever give each other. That's so sad. I can't do that. Oh my God, could you just imagine yourself in this situation? I couldn't. Oh, that would hurt. I never thanked you for what you did, you say after a moment, back when the guild came after me. They never accused you of corruption outright, just enough innuendos to stain every room you walked into. Wow, okay, well, okay. It was a hard lesson to manage, but then they stopped. Quietly, one name after another vanished from favor. Even if I wasn't your great love, I made sure you never faltered. Apparently, that's all it took to convince everyone otherwise. Lucian rolled his eyes. The Iron Duke who never once let his Starlight falter. That's how the ballots go. Never mind that my charm brought him political grace. Give you an elegant woman and a man who looks like he might murder for her, and suddenly it's a love story. Funny, you've got the reputation. But I was covering for you just as often, and no one ever mentioned that. You have. That same winter, when Isabel nearly walked. Aw, they have a daughter together? He doesn't need to explain. You remember how hollow his voice sounded in console, how you filled in every public gap without asking why. I never seen you fall apart like that. And you didn't hold it against me. I didn't need to. Lucian doesn't respond, but something in his expression softens. Look, if I'm getting through to you and that means that you can get up on these double chocolate chip booty cheeks, by all means. No, it's too early in the morning. It's supposed to be a love story. Okay, I'll stop. I'm sorry. We can continue. If you could do it again and it was up to you, would you still choose us? He tilts his head. Why do you ask? Because Rowan asked, and I couldn't give him an answer. I still feel guilty about it. A quiet inn on the outskirts of the old border towns. You'd planned to leave that morning, but somehow you stayed. One more night, one more hour, one more story that didn't matter. Rowan sat across from you, boots unlaced, legs stretched towards the fire. You always stay longer than you say you will. Maybe I just really like your tea. No one likes my tea. It's grown on me. You didn't plan the next words. They just surfaced, bright and foolish and beautiful. Next life, I'll choose you first. No duty, no titles, just you. And if we're lucky, maybe every life after that too. Rowan didn't smile. He just stared out the window, where the candlelight didn't quite reach. And what about this life? If you had met me first, before all of it, would you have married me then? Oh, so she had a crush on somebody named Rowan. Okay. That's what it feels like. It's like she's talking to somebody that could have been, but didn't. You know, that's kind of the feeling, I guess. You didn't answer right away. Not because you didn't want to, but because the answer had stopped being simple. And in the silence, the fire crackled, then faded. You never said yes. You never said no. But he understood. I mean, silence can speak volumes, I'm just saying. You blink and Rowan's voice is gone. Lucian is still watching you, still waiting. You asked if I'd choose us giving the chance. He says finally. That's not a light question. You don't need to explain, but I thought you might have wanted to. He's not pressing, but he's opened the door. Do you walk through it? Ah, okay. I was curious, that's all. I need clarity. There's someone else. Oh man, oh boy. I needed clarity, obviously, of course. I needed clarity. I've been feeling conflicted about certain decisions I've made, and I thought your answer might help me come to terms. Then I hope I'll be helpful. He pauses, as if reaching for an exact shape of something that's long lived in his mouth, but never made air. You want to know if I'd choose this again. If everything had been different, if we'd been born into a kinder world, I might have married Isabel properly. I promised her once I would. Okay, so Isabel's not their child. Okay, good. Isabel is somebody that he was in love with. So we were in love with somebody, he was in love with somebody, and okay, all right, this story, oh, the drama, the mixes, oh man, and then they ended up having to be together. Oh, that's gotta suck. Oh, did I read that? Hold on. But it's not the life we have. This one demanded sacrifice, endurance, and we gave it that, every piece of it. He looks at you then, direct and unflinching. In this life, I'm choosing you. And I choose you again. Lucian, oh my God. He talked about it being sacrifice and endurance and stuff. And of course, love is sacrifice and endurance. But the words I love you hasn't left his mouth yet. And it's not, I don't want to egg that on. I want him to say it naturally. I love you should come out naturally. Not in some dream, not in another world. This one, ours, is far from a passionate declaration, but it's the truth. When I was younger, I wanted a love like lightning, breathless kisses, reckless declarations, a story worth dying for. But that kind of fire never lasts. It never survives the aftermath. You glance at your husband, so clear-eyed and practical. The man who has shared everything with you except romance. The man you would choose anyway. You think of something stupid and sentimental. Of course you do. Say it anyway. Don't. Okay, so now I know this game has to have multiple endings because no way are they gonna like give me the chance to be mean to this man or get this close to say I love you and then don't. I should save. But this time we're gonna say it anyway. Seems the ballad's got one thing right. You murmur half a joke, but not really. You're my Iron Duke, through and through. Only ever tried to be my Starlight. That is so cute. He sounds almost amused. Almost. Lucian shifts his hand slightly, resting it palm up between you on the bench. You look at it, then at him. And slowly, wordlessly, you reach over and cover it with your own. You stay like that for a long time. There are no sparks, no warmth. A quiet kind of steadiness that never asks for more than your presence. I'm conflicted through this. Of course it's beautiful. Of course it's sweet. It isn't love. At least not the kind people write about. But whatever it is, it stayed. And then we choose this. In the end, you reach for one another. That is so sweet. Listen, I don't think I can potentially just leave it like that. I'm going to go back in. Oh my God, I'm so conflicted. I want to leave my comments for the end, but there's just so much I want to talk about. Like, could you live in that type of situation? I don't think I could. I don't think I can live. Let's go back in. So there are 8 endings. We are going to go in and we're going to get every last one of them. So let's go. Okay, so this time I'm going to turn away. You stand just short of the bench, still unseen, if only technically. It's not that you don't want to sit beside him. It's just that there's always a cost. Even now, with no guests left to perform for, Lucian is still Lucian. Measured, composed, capable of making you feel like a trespasser in your own life. Some nights, you have the patience for that. Other nights, leave him. Let's leave him. Not tonight. You turn and leave him in silence. Your room greets you the same way it always does, like it never noticed you were gone. You unfasten your collar, fingers stiff, unpin your hair, let it fall. The mirror watches, unsympathetic. Showtime is over. You fall into the cold bed, still in half your clothes, and close your eyes. Enough. Ending. Okay, that's another ending. Quiet curtain falls. You left before anything could begin. That's 2 endings. So I'm going to try to get all 8. So this time I'm going to go up to him. You sit beside Lucian, not close, not far. So I'm going to skip it till something new happens. So I'm going to try to go through and not say nothing at all. You always been careful with your words, he says, not unkindly. Maybe that's why this worked. He doesn't sound upset. If anything, he almost sounds grateful. What do you mean by this? The marriage, the performance, the exhausting unspoken rule that have allowed us to survive each other thus far? When you were younger, you both resented the arrangement, spectacle of it. Okay, so this is the same. I'm gonna keep going. So it stopped me right here. I'm going to keep reading. But it works, and I don't expect more. There's a distant finality in his tone, but the silence that follows doesn't feel finished, not quite. You don't know if it's a habit or defiance that makes you want to answer him. Okay, leave it to him? Maybe? Leave it to him. You carefully set your glass down. Good night, Lucian. Leaving already? Good night. He doesn't ask you to stay. The corridor is quiet. You don't look back. It's just a kind silence you've both learned to leave in place. A last gesture. Okay. No one stops you. No one watches. Just closing act. So this time I'm going to say, I know you hate it tonight. I know you hate it tonight. Because there's nothing appealing about playing host to wolves or pretending our shared glances mean something they don't. Indeed, I would have rather been elsewhere. A pause, just long enough for you to know exactly who he means. But that wouldn't have changed where I needed to be. You understand? There's been too many console sessions, too many trade negotiations, too many banquets beneath this gilded ceiling. The more I read, the more I don't like this whole arrangement thing. And you miss him just as your husband does her. Rowan, oh my goodness. You were younger. You both resented the arrangement. So this is the same. I'm going to keep going. Let's hold the line this time. We've always known how to keep things running. You don't mean it as a compliment, but it lands like one. Lucian nods, the corner of his mouth lifting slightly. We know how to prioritize and compartmentalize. Unlike some. You both know exactly who you're thinking of. The Duke of Meridian had an infamous affair. His wife didn't care, as long as he handled it with tact. Excuse me, I have to say with act. Then he sent their fleet to his lover's port. Trade collapsed. Revolts followed. They became a case study, not in romance, but in political malpractice. Is that okay, well, I mean, I understand why they don't rebel, because they don't want to be looked at like that, at least. At least we never let our personal lives get in the way of our duties. Not for lack of opportunity. That's so cute, but disturbing at the same time. The humor fades, but the sentiment holds. So if this is the same, I'm going to go ahead and skip past it. But if it's not, we'll read through it. And I can't skip, so we'll keep reading. The guild fallout last year? You say after a beat. I know it was you who shut it down. They never accused you of corruption outright. Just enough innuendos to strain every room you walked into. Invitations vanish. Allies turn cautious. And then it stopped. The names behind it disappeared from relevance one by one. Their mistake was thinking whispers could move policies. You don't respond. You don't need to. There's been a rhythm between you, born not of affection, but of knowing exactly where the others will stand. The same winter, you handled the Eclipse Festival. You remember that week. He fought with Isabel. She nearly left. You were occupied, and you didn't hesitate. You just stepped in. It was necessary. Lucian nods. For all the years we've built this, I still wonder. If you could do it again and it was up to you, would you still choose us? So this should be the same. I'm gonna skip it if something different happens. If something different happens, you will see it. Excuse me. And I can't skip it, so let's continue. His eyes narrow slightly. Why do you ask? Because Rowan asked, and I couldn't give him an answer. I still feel guilty about it. I do wonder what happens if we just lie to him. But we could just easily just say nothing. Let's lie this time. I was curious. That's all. All right. He doesn't meet your eyes at first. When he does, there's nothing in his expression to read. To answer, yes, I choose this again, he said simply. So he answered it so simply when we're like lying to him and being cold to him and being like, not cold, but you know what I mean, like not being as nice and open as we were in the first part. So it's weird that he would be like, yeah, I would choose this again, knowing good and gosh darn well that he's in love with Isabel. Because they kept our names intact. Legacy isn't built on romance. If it were, neither of us would be sitting here. His tone holds no sentiment, no emotion at all, just the sound of someone describing survival. Boy, that one hurt. You nod. The answer isn't compelling, but it makes sense. Lucian rises a moment later. There's still work in the morning. He doesn't wait for you to follow. There's no need. You watch him go until the echo of his steps fade down the corridor. Then you turn the opposite way. Ending. What survived? The kingdom endures. So did you. Excuse me. But survival isn't always. You guys read it. Let's go. Let's go get some more endings. So this time I'm gonna say nothing. I just went through the game and I was just very nice to him, being like, oh, what we could have been and all that other stuff, choosing the nice options of trying to find love in our marriage. And now I'm not gonna say nothing when I asked him about the Rowan thing. So here we go. You say nothing, and Lucian, of course, doesn't press. He takes a slow breath, weighing his words the way he always does. Would I choose this again? He repeats your earlier question. Yes. Not because it made us happy, not because it was effortless, but because we worked. And this life requires that more than it requires affection. It isn't cold. It isn't warm. It's honest. How very romantic of you, my dear Iron Duke, you say dryly. The corner of his mouth lifts. I deliver what's required, my Starlight. The moment passes, and neither of you marks it. Eventually you both rise. No hands held, no shoulders touch, but your footsteps echo side by side down the polished stone, and you don't fall behind. Sorry, his. A measured oath. Not love, but loyalty, enough for this life, through others may reach. And again, it's because of my glasses. I just read slower without my glasses, but that's another ending that we got. So let's keep going. Let's change the subject. You glance down at your glass, then back up, measured. I heard that House Larian's trying to consolidate the ports again. That'll go over well. Lucian's gaze doesn't shift, but the corner of his mouth ticks like he knows what you're doing and lets you. They'll overreach. They always do. The moment passes. Whatever hung between you recedes back into the unspoken. He gestures towards the decanter. More wine. Lucian pours another measure for you and him, to whatever comes next in the session calendar. and the people who survive it with their power antics. You drink, so does he. It's almost companionable, almost. But whatever lived beneath the earlier silence stayed buried. Okay, a polished silence. Nothing breaks, nothing heals. The show goes on. So I wonder what would happen if we say marrying you was a mistake. Marrying you was a mistake. Lucian doesn't flinch, but something in his jaw tightens. I see, he says, voice clipped. So the mistake wasn't the system, just me? In that case, shall we dissolve the arrangement, follow our hearts, and let power block fall where they may? I mean, sounds better than this. Tell me, will romance renegotiate the border terms when they do? The words aren't loud, but they land like a blade laid carefully to the bone. Not to wound, but to truly see what you mean underneath. What do you say? It's broken. Let it break. It's broken. Let it break. And maybe we should have said that years ago. Lucian says nothing, not for a long time. When he speaks, it's the coldest you've heard him in years. Thank you for your clarity. He sets his glass down, stands. You know this isn't abandonment. Not publicly, not politically. But whatever thread that still tied you together has been cut. Oh my goodness. So I think I've got the quiet death to something long endured. Wow. So I think I've gotten 6 endings and there's only 8, I think. So let me count it up real quick. So I've gotten 7 endings and there's 1 left. We need to go get the other one. I'm going to say this time, I'm sorry, I just needed to say it. Sorry, I just needed to say it. Because pretending that we are fine was starting to feel like erasing myself. Lucian sighs. Rest assured, I'm just as tired of our arrangement. You are welcome to complain, but we will stand until the last thing crumbles beneath us. That is the least passionate declaration of commitment I've ever heard. Okay, but if you could do it again. Okay, so this is would you choose us again? Let's continue. Let's get past this part. Oh, it won't let me skip it. Oh wait, hold on. Yeah, it won't let me skip it. His eyes narrow slightly. Why do you ask? Because Rowan asked, and I couldn't give him an answer. I still feel guilty about it. So this time I'm going to say there's someone else. I think we've done all of these, but I'm going to say there's someone else. There's someone else. You know who. I love him. I always have. That hasn't changed. He asked me once if I would have married him instead. If I could. And I didn't say anything. Lucian hummed thoughtfully, like something unspoken between you has finally been acknowledged. He didn't deserve your silence, but you didn't deserve the choice you were given either. He takes a slow breath, weighing his words the way he always does. So I'm going to say nothing. You say nothing, and Lucian, of course, doesn't press. When he speaks next, his voice is even unreadable. You asked if I'd choose this again. I'm not sure my answer matters. So this time he didn't answer the question. Okay. He leans back slightly. We do what's required. That's all he says. And maybe that's your answer. Probably whatever's left when all the better answers are long gone. You excuse yourself. No explanation, no pleasantry, just the sound of your shoes across the stone floor and the door closing behind you. He doesn't stop you. You wouldn't have either. Okay, terms of surrender. The marriage of obligation ends with resignation. Excuse me. I can't read it. Anyway, I've got all 8 endings. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for asking me to play this game. This game was sweet and tender, and I loved every minute of it. If you enjoyed, all the information for the creator in their at least their each.io page will be in the description box below. Go stop by and play this game yourself. Maybe I missed something, maybe I didn't. Now who knows? But anyways, thank you guys so much. I truly appreciate it. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And with all that being said, peace and love. Stay safe out there, everybody. Bye bye.